Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, More Than a Garden Homestead. We're going to talk about potatoes. And about 2.5 weeks ago, I found some potatoes that I bought at the supermarket, and they were totally sprouting, just totally gone. Couldn't use them at all. They were done. And I thought, I hate to wait. I know, don't you hate that? I hate to waste food. So I went and got some grow bags and put potatoes in and decided to see what would happen with the supermarket potatoes. So I'm going to show you now. This is kind of a piecemeal kind of video. I'm going to go back to 2 weeks ago, show you what I did. Then I'm going to cut in and I'm going to show you what's happening now with them, only 2 weeks later. So come along and I'll show you what I did with the potatoes and how you can grow potatoes, even from the grocery store. Of course, they're potatoes, right? We're gonna see what happens with these potatoes, and it's gonna be interesting for sure. So come along. So I've got the 4 grow bags here in various states of what I've been doing as far as planting. Potatoes are very simple. So in the first one, I just put the hay at the bottom. Now you don't have to do this part. You can use leaves or anything. I just happen to have some hay over there, so I'm using that. And I just line the bottom. Then I put the soil, and I just got some all-purpose potting soil with fertilizer in it, just a small layer. Then I put the potatoes in with the sprouts up of course, towards the, going towards the sun. And I'm going to put 5 in a bag. I have enough. One of them's going to have 4 in it, but so I put 5 in a bag, and then I cover it. So then I covered this one. And now, as what's going to happen though, they come up, I'm going to keep adding soil. So eventually these are going to be full, and all the potatoes are going to grow as the plant grows up. Keep adding soil until this bag is full. Hi, Chappy. What's in there? Potatoes. Yeah. And so that's what's going to cause this whole bag is going to fill with potatoes. Now this bag is kind of cool. These bags have a little side thing that I'm going to be able to open up. You can see that panel there. It's a little Velcro panel. And then I'm going to be able to, I'm in the sun. It's really hard. So this has a little panel here on the side that I'm going to be able to open up and actually harvest the potatoes right out of the side. And so if there's a potato in there that is smaller and I want it to grow a little bit more, I don't dig it up until it's ready. I can just see that it needs to stay in there a little bit longer. I really think these are going to work well. And I'm hoping that they give us some potatoes. There's the rest of my potatoes that I have to plant. But let me show you the garden real quick. So here's where I cut in and show you how my potatoes have grown in the past 2 weeks. Here they are. Look what's happening. The potatoes, only 2 weeks later, they popped up literally overnight. I came out here, this is about a day, this is about 2 days later. I still have to cover them with more soil. But look at these. Look at that. It's amazing. I'm so amazed. I'm so excited and amazed by this. This is so cool. Look at that. They're growing, and I think I'm gonna get a lot more than 19 potatoes out of this. Just from me making a mistake and pushing them back too far in my cupboard. And now look at that. I'm so excited. Here they are. So isn't that exciting? They're doing what they're supposed to do. They're growing. So you can grow potatoes from the supermarket. They are growable. And so now is a good time though to get seed potatoes. They're all on sale. They're trying to get rid of them because it's the end of the season. There is still time to grow them. So get out there and get your grow bags and your half-price potatoes. I'm going to take you back to my vlog of the garden that I took 2 weeks ago. It's already changing. It's already growing. It's the chickens too, the little chickies, they're growing. Everybody's growing. Garden's growing, chickies growing, kids are growing. We're all growing. So here's the garden tour from 2 weeks ago. where I just wanted to document the start of it. And I know garden tours aren't for everyone, but if you didn't like garden tours, you probably wouldn't be here. So I love garden tours. I watch garden tours all the time. And I think that I'm just going to contribute to the garden tour noise on YouTube. Now, go ahead, enjoy the garden tour. Well, here is, remember the no-dig garden that I did back a few videos? This is my no-dig garden bed. And I added some bricks that we had, and I put in some tomatoes. I also have some seeds planted in here, cosmos, zinnia, and strawflower. And I can't remember what else. Flowers mostly, and some tomatoes. And then I actually came over here and made another section of the no-dig garden and added some of the hostas and lambs here that I had over where the chicken coop is going to go. So I wanted to save them, so I moved them over here. And I bought a little lavender plant because I'm trying to grow lavender again. I had a good one and it died when I tried to put it in a pot when we thought we were moving, and it died before I could get it planted again. So I'm hoping that'll work. Now this is our big garden bed that we're now in the process. Sean is in the process of rebuilding the sides because they all rotted. So once we get this all taken care of, we'll be able to plant the rest of our tomatoes and some other herbs and things. Maybe some Swiss chard. I'm not sure yet. A couple other things. This is a big area. So, and I can also plant lettuce right under the eave of the house because it won't bolt. It's a good spot for me to plant some more lettuce. So now you have not seen the garden. I wanted to show you the cattle panels that we put. We got one cattle panel up right now. We got another small one we're going to put up into the other box. So this is the cattle panel that's going to house 4 different types of beans. I have some of the beans over here. There's purple beans and green beans. I can't remember the variety. I wrote it down. It's in the house. 2 different types. And over on this side, the sugar snap peas. There's only a couple of them. I think I might not have planted them in time. I don't know if they might bolt before we get anything because they're more of a cool weather thing. But this other one, I just planted over here, the Cherokee wax beans, and they should be coming up in the next couple of days. Oh, we have a party next door, so you'll hear everybody having a good time, probably in the background, but that's cool. All right. This is the holy basil. It smells so good. I love it so much. I've wanted it for years. I finally got one. Here's the kale. Here's the celery. And here's the broccoli that I did with winter sowing. So I don't know if that's going to work either because it's getting warmer. So we'll have to see about that. I think I might have needed to plant those sooner too. But the radishes, we got a radish patch. And I've been picking them a little bit. They're small still. But I think if I give them another week, I can start picking them and we'll actually be able to put them in our salads and not just have a little nibble. But you can see they're starting to, here's one actually. All right, well, here's one I can probably pick. It's going to be small. But that's good because it's beautiful. Look at that. They don't necessarily, our plants and our vegetables don't necessarily have to be that large. And these are beautiful. Oh, radishes. And they're really zingy too. They're really tangy. So now we have, this is supposed to be a dill patch. I did plant some dill seed. I had some little ones that popped up, volunteer, and the ones that I transplanted are really small and not really doing very well. So I'm not sure what's going to happen here either. And then I put some of my Roma tomatoes here, and they are looking all right. I think they're looking all right. I should have buried some of them a little lower. But when we were planting, there was like a thunderstorm coming, and I just wanted to get them in, so I just kind of put them in, and they're doing all right. I think they're going to be okay. Basil, a couple of little basils there that I bought, because my basil, I did have one basil that I started from seed, and I have it in the front yard, but it's very, very small. A lot of my seeds starts were very small. I think it was because the window that I had them in was okay, but it wasn't ideal. And these are the beans that I showed you before. And they're growing really well. I can't wait until they cover this cattle panel. I have 4 different types of beans, and I'm going to put another one right here that's going to go over into the other box over here with some more beans. And so because I have a smaller space, I can grow up and have lots more. So I'm looking forward to when this is all full and shady, and I'm going to want to bring chairs out here and just sit in the garden in the shade and enjoy the beans. So these are my zucchini, and they're doing all right. They were starting to die. I think I started them too soon, and they started to do really well, and then they started to die in the containers. I'm standing here, you've got my shadow in there. So they are rallying. And then I had some more tomatoes over here, but one of them got snipped off by something. I don't know what. But one of my beans also got snipped off. But it's actually growing. There was a bean over here that it got snipped off. So the bean over there got snipped off, and then over here I only had 3. Well, let me show you. New box over here, and it's peppers. It's our pepper patch. Peppers and cucumbers. And these are the cucumbers that I started, which are doing pretty well. There's one that kind of went to the wayside. And then I bought some that only one survived, way over here, of the ones I bought. So I did plant some seeds here, so I know in the next another week or so, they should start popping up. This right here, this poor little sad empty tomato cage, was 3 of the only German Johnson tomatoes that I had, and they got eaten. So we put this up, but we're actually going to have to staple this on in here. We're going to staple that to the side so that it stays put, and I'll plant some more of my aromas over here because I have a bunch. So I'll tell you this, these peppers are not, I didn't start these. My peppers did not work. So I went and bought 4 of them, and they're doing really well. Now I did learn that if they're small like this, if they're still small like this, and you start seeing blooms, to pinch off the blooms and let them grow a little more first, or you're not going to get as many. You might get 1 pepper, but you want more than 1 or 2. So let it grow up. Same thing with tomatoes. You're going to want to make sure that if your tomatoes are small like mine right now and they're just starting to grow, that if they do start to bud, to take the buds off and let the plant have a chance to grow and use all of its energy to grow the plant, and then it can put its energy into the fruit, and you'll end up with more fruit. So I know it seems counterintuitive to take off buds, but you don't have to take them all off, just a few, so that they're expending their energy growing themselves and then growing the fruit. Within the next week or so, I'll have the other cattle panel up. I'll have the rest of the tomato plants planted, and I'm really excited about this year's garden. I think it's going to be beautiful. I think we're going to have a good yield. I really hope that this inspires you to start a garden. It's not too late. You might think, oh, well, summer's already on the way. I didn't seed start. I can't do anything. It's too late. It's not too late. You can plant even into July, even some seeds. I had just read that you can still plant tomato seeds in most places, and you'll still get a yield in October, like September, October. And then once you get past July, and it does feel like it's too late, it's still not too late, because then you can start planting your cold weather things. and that's a whole other day. So I want to encourage you to plant something. Just plant something. This is a learning time. Um, we still have time to learn. We still have time to grow. You can do this. So I encourage you to start. So start where you are. Do what you can. It's not too late. And I'll see you next time. Bye.